Well, I can confirm last night I was stroking a black pussy and she enjoyed it. She was liking it. And then the other one got jealous. I had him sleep on my bed for the first time ever, and I realised something. They don't like being picked up and patted. That's why the tabby one was going a bit funny, and that's why the black kitty's always been a bit funny, and I can sit there with black kitty on the bed and pat her and she's got no problem, and I couldn't believe it when she started purring. Neither could the tabby kitty. I don't think tabby kitty had ever even heard black kitty purring before. But anyways, it took a while to get them out of my bedroom this morning too. They want to keep playing on the bed and fighting and spinning around and wrestling and that, and then every now and then one falls off the bed. Anyways, we got to do a little bit of demolition. This joint here. This is actually an old pit toilet. I think they use corrugated iron. There's another method where you can sort of get the slab and like tow it over the hole, but I think they use corrugated iron and a circular hole cut in that with a 44-gallon drum. I'll go inside. This was put here 20 years ago, quite literally. But, no, actually it would have been 21 years ago, 94. She's, well, it's got borer, so that's why it's going. Oh, great. Now we removed all the bloody handles. I can get the door open. There she's open. Yeah. Oh, he must have filled it in with dirt by the looks of it. Swept some dirt in. Usually, can't really see it. This glorious blasted camera. There's just a bit of dirt down there. Often enough with these you can use them and then you leave them for a few years and they actually go down after like 2 or 3 years. I mean quite significantly down. You know, to the point that it's almost like it's only a quarter of what it was or whatever. But in certain areas of the country, these are legal for like temporary. What they do around here, people don't just build a house and that's it. What they do is they build a shed, live in the shed, and then once the shed's finished and that, they put in an application to live in a house. Now, I'm not too sure about this area, what it exactly is or was 20 years ago when this was done, but I know there's other areas of the country where it's a similar sort of scenario, and it's legal until you get the house built to use a pit toilet, and you know it's on the books as a rule that you can do it, sort of thing. This is actually that's a flaming dunny roll holder I made up myself. Carved all that out with, I think it was with like wood lathe tools. I carved all that out by hand. But yeah, some of this has got borer. Oh, there we go. And he said, oh, I was going to, you know, work out what we can keep and what we can't, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to flame and keep one piece to find out that it's still got borer and then it infects whatever the hell else he's got it with. So he said just scrap a lot of it. Yeah, it sort of doesn't look in that bad a neck, but oh yeah, more bore up the back. So you can barely see it until you get right up there. He actually wanted to lift this whole thing off, as of about a year ago, 9 months ago actually, and take it to my place. He said, do you need another building? And I said, no. But I sort of do need another building because I want to make a chook coop, but then I've got that much blasted stuff myself. I'm not exactly short of anything. Save for some wood, which is getting eaten by borers anyway. But I've got wood, but some of the hardwood I've got is alright, and others of it is just crap. And realistically, if you're making a chicken coop, I don't think it really matters that much anyway. But yeah, I've got no shortage of materials for the chicken coop that will be built. Not necessarily for keeping chickens on a permanent basis, but I'll talk about that another time. There we go. Doesn't take long at all. God, some of these bits of metal are crap. Have a look at this. And one little bit here, beside another piece here, which is 1, 2, 3 bits riveted together. So, yeah. Link, you're going to get to use the materials. It doesn't matter, I've got better materials, and it's more like Link. When are you going to put this in scrap metal? There's a big hole. There's the sheep. All arse and no class. I've got to just rip the bolt off this here, and woohoo! This is not structurally stable. Oh yeah. Ah yeah. Flipping borers in the bottom here. Which is all through here. And there. Yeah, gotta get a spanner and get all that crap off as well. And, that door's long since turned to crap anyway. This is rocking in the wind on its own now. Yeah. See, with these things, there's obviously no, lateral bracing or whatever, like your signals. And they basically use the roof sheets and the fact that they're rippled and click the ripples into each other, and then instead of the roof sheets themselves end up as your diagonal bracing. And, my dunny's probably built no better, it's actually probably built worse, and yet that handles horrific flipping winds. But yeah. Anyway, this will be coming down rather quick if it doesn't just sort of come down with a kick anyway. Well, that didn't take much at all. I just started rocking that beam there, and yeah, out you come. That's the beauty of nails, even when they skew nail. That's why I never really trust nails, because they're so damn easy to pull out, which I've found with umpteen other demolitions I've done since the late 90s. These screws, nails, you get them to bend easy, and they pull out easy because you got no thread. But with screws, you got a thread. You ever tried to bend a 3-inch treated pine framing screw? Yeah, you pull them for a while. There's no pushover. It's like wrestling like hell, and then sort of go and get a hacksaw or angle grinder or something. But anyway, she out, and I shall throw this on the back and throw it over in one of my heaps. And I've got the trailer with me today, as usual. Do all the bolts and chuck that in as well. And I'll stack all this away. Well, people, we have a winner. I'm playing a sawdust kid here. Wow. Yeah. Just about beyond it. The sawdust here underneath of them, and that was where the beam was, because there's bolts and concrete holding in. Some sawdust. Look at this one. Little white dot on the end of his tail here. That's known as a white tail. That one there will give you boils and scabs and everything. It's a spider that eats other spiders. It has 22 different kinds of venom in its poison. 22 different kinds of poison in its venom or whatever. You know what I mean. And it also carries a certain virus which gives you big boils on your skin. It's just a glorious little bastard. On the tip of his tail he's got a white dot, and the rest of him is black, and he's very sort of elongated. But yeah, that's a white tail. That's the sort of thing you absolutely guarantee do not want biting you. Anyway, I'll finish him off. Once and for all. Alright. Alrighty. A bit of stuff stacked up here, as you can see. Quite a bit, actually. That's what we come out of that. I'll throw a bit of the green stuff in that I had to cut out to sort of open this side up. I'll take that back in a second. I really should get the saw going and slice up a bit of plywood. But here we are, whole big open area. We can all walk into, right down into here. As I said before, we'll deal with the box holes next time. Yeah, I even got rid of most of this. Trimmed it all off. So yeah, let's open that right up. Good area for shade and whatnot. A few bits and pieces here. Some of this is the stuff I demolished today. Others of it is some of the bits of fence posts. Even more of it is some of the... What's doing, Black Kitty? Eh? I worked out something else with Black Kitty. It's not just being picked up, it's height perspective with her. I know the other cat I can sort of squat down and it's sort of alright, but Black Kitty, when you're actually laying down in bed, you're not a threat at all. She'll come up and lay next to your leg and purr and stuff like that without a problem, but yeah. Where are you going? Stinky here. Gonna get a bath today. I've smelled a combination of my sister's puppy years ago used to smell like the bloomin' dog food, and she's smelling like cat food, and I don't know if it's just a combination of cat food and the smell of poop or what, because another cat decides to try and attack her as she's having a poop sometimes. They do it to each other, which is bloody annoying, because I don't exactly want to be cleaning shit off cats or have any of that sort of stuff in my bed. But yeah, somebody, Tabby Cat, will be getting a bath today. I see a lot of things they say about cats that, I mean, these are kittens, probably different, but because they mellow out more and all that, but a lot of things I hear aren't true at all. Such as they don't meow to each other very much. These two are always meowing at each other. What's the other one? They sleep 16 hours a day. Well, I don't even think they doze 16 hours a day. This lot of them, they don't even get a decent night's sleep these days because of the last 2 nights anyway, because of the way these are carrying on. Honestly, tonight I might close the door and bloody leave them out so I can actually sleep well. They start this whole blooming cleaning routine of licking each other, and you hear this, and you think someone's about to shit themselves just by the blooming noise they make it. Then you wake up, or then you turn the torch on, because they've got a little torch in the bed now. I turn the torch on, and you see them licking each other or whatever. And then that'll change, and next thing they'll be fighting each other, and they'll be rolling around in the bed, and it flipping wakes you up, you know, you'll be asleep, and then next thing you got these cats, oh, bang, hitting your leg, and then you wake up, and then they walk over the top of you, and, you know, stuff like that, and stand on your bloody, well, they don't usually stand on me balls, but they always walk up me flipping legs all the time, and it just annoys me. So, I'm not getting a very good night's sleep with these two, so you might get locked out tonight, hey Diddums. Might have to leave you out, eh? She felt a bit dejected because the other one was getting all the pats and she was getting pushed away because she stunk so damn much. And then she ended up getting angry and flaming taken out on the other one half the flipping night. So anyway. Wait, she'll growl at the other one. She's got a weevil. She's worked out it's walking on the ground. Last time it was a blooming, I don't think she's dated. The other night she had a cockroach. Oh no, it's still walking. And she had this cockroach and the other one come up and growl. So then she'd pick it up with her mouth, move it and put it down. She's fascinated that it'd walk, and she'd poke it with a paw, and then it'd keep walking, and poke it with a paw again, and walk in a different direction. 3 times the other one come up to jump on her. 3 times she'd be growling and then move it. She's perplexed by this bloomin' weevil. Where is it, buddy? You lose it. You eat it. Hey? Where's your weevil gone? There it is, there it is. It's still going. There it is, it's under the stick. Probably only see the legs now. See it now, buddy? Maybe that's why she stinks eating cockroaches. Had something go donkers. I was checking the mailbox the other night. I couldn't work out what it was, and yet this is knocked over here. It's bloody borers in this piece of pine here. Now, that bit there and that bit there used to have that on there to give me a bit of height, and then I realised it was no height at all, and I wasn't going to get any sort of worthwhile fall out of it, so I've just used the old ladder there and that to get over the fence, and this has just been sitting here. That's fantastic. That's construction stuff. And here I am having fixed up my house with pine, probably, well, I know for a fact it was from the same sawmill, plus, you know, it's the same type of pine, and you see them eating into all this stuff and you think, that's just fantastic. How long before they get into the flaming house, which is just through there? There's the stuff with the termites. There's still quite a lot of branches in that tree, some of which are dead. But anyway, this is one of these things. When I build again, it is going to be bona fide flipping concrete, cinder block, normal bricks or steel, just something that I can't get eaten by bugs of one sort or another. I gather even with my finger over the microphone you still hear me anyway. But have a look at this, a reciprocating saw. I'm cutting up a big root, bloody big root system here. Reciprocating saw was going a little bit slow, and I suspected something based on the fact it wasn't quite sawdust coming through, and I was right. Cutting into a rock. So the roots are growing around a rock, and here I am trying to cut a rock up and cut roots off, and I've cut a rock in the process, which may have blocked me blade here, which I'll be a little bit annoyed about if it has, but it's saying, well, she's decently, yeah, it's still pretty good. It's got a bloody sharp edge on it still, so we might be right. These are also made to go through nails as well. This is the reason why you don't ever bother attacking roots with anything other than an axe and a reciprocating saw. You really don't attack them with a chainsaw, because if you do, you'll hit that. I went through the big post, you might have seen it in the last video. There's a friggin' bolt on the opposite side, and I didn't even see it. I cut a damn bolt with a chainsaw, and that's why the bastard went so blunt so quickly near the end there. And it was a bit of a dumb move. I should have rolled it over, but I didn't remember seeing the bolt there when I pulled the post out. But, yeah, it's one thing to roll a post over to check for bolts, but you ain't going to see rocks inside blasted root systems. And believe it or not, like, this is actually blasted good wood. I mean, this is almond. They use black almond in the trims in Mercedes-Benzes, but this is just, I don't know, bog standard almond. But all the same, it's a bloody good hardwood and it burns nicely. I mean, look at it, it's all dense. Aside from the fact the so-called bark will fall off any second, you know, it's blasted good stuff. And it burns very well, so, and the size of this is astronomical. Well, I mean, give you an idea here, starts down there. It's more than wide, it's about 15 inches wide if I actually rolled it over. I think this is the come off the top from it. So I think that was attacked. No, actually, it was just back here. I can't remember, to be honest. Well, I found a dead pigeon on my veranda, and with all the paranoia in the off-grid community, that happens sometimes. I thought it might be the mafia threatening to kill me, but then again, I just been Diddums here offering me an Italian-style lunch to cook up. But nah, there was no pigeon on the veranda, but I think that mother did get a bird because I found a bunch of feathers around there early days when they were first here, and yeah, these guys haven't been killing any birds yet, but I just couldn't miss the opportunity to make that lame joke. There we are, Puss. Hey, this is a bit far from your usual reach, isn't it, Puss? Oh, look at that. Old school saw blade. We've got a few antiques around here. There's an old... Apparently me old man reckons it's a wheelbarrow, cast on wheelbarrow wheel. I'll show those in another video. There's a little Puss. Happy and healthy. How you doing, Puss? You trying to get up the bloomin' box on? And get spiked and then come sucking to me about it. They usually don't come out this far, those black kitty. I have been mucking around with the fig tree a bit. Anyway, somebody successfully had a bath. Not terribly happy, but had one all the same. And I thought she might have cracked the sads and I wanted to be patted for the rest of the day, but no, she's sort of fine after she dried out and that, so... What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I've been out doing... sometime here I'm going to be able to afford, when I can afford it, some decent large-sized tree guards, because the trees are obviously bigger than the tree guards, and kangaroos and lemon rabbits or whatever are basically eating them off level with the top, because some of them I've actually got like the chicken wire. It was around the sides and the roos would just stick their head down, so I put chicken wire over the top. Now it's just like they're like a blooming hedge, they're just trimming it to where it's got to be. So I'm going to get some bigger tree guards. I've got to make some bigger tree guards, which means buying mesh, which means money that... Well, I've got to go and get a fire extinguisher thingy, majigler. It's a fire knapsack sprayer for doing the box thorns. The car battery is getting worse, and I still haven't done that, and I've got to do that at some point. And eventually I'll buy this mesh and build new tree guards. But for now... a lot of the tree guards are just sort of, they're in with bamboo stakes, which they use for grapevines, and of course we had a whole ton of them here from my father getting freebies from his workplace and whatnot. So I went out there and a lot of those are snapped off at ground level, and the tree guard is literally shaking in the wind against a tree. And it's no good on the tree. Also, sometimes the tree actually goes outside the guard and then back in again. And if the tree guard was loose, which quite a few of them were, actually quite a lot of them were, it'll rub on the trunk and, you know, sort of goes brown where it's getting bruised by the shaking tree guard. So I've been out there snipping bits of the tree guard off so that they're not intertwined anymore, and untwined a few of them that could be untwined, because some of them actually grew like around a circle when they get to the top because they can't really get out, sort of thing. There's only a few done that, which is sort of bizarre, but anyways, I've just come and repotted the lemon-scented verbena here. I've got to water that in too before long. Bit of the water there, it's the overflow water from the shower. This is from Kitty's bloomin' thingo. Kitty's little bath. That's been sitting for a couple of hours, and look how dirty it is still. Most of that dirt has sunk to the bottom, but it's still pretty flaming dirty. So anyway, we're going to do that. These actually look quite nice. Look a lot better in real life than on the camera. These are ones my uncle had to keep watering them. They're sort of nice ones. This is one my mum had almost let die. I have two areas under boxthorn where this was grown. It was already here. But that particular plant came from my mum's house. This one here is sort of quite nice as well. I'm pretty certain it's a purple and all that. A lot of these are bulb things, and there's this other blooming thing. I forget what even colour this is. That doesn't look good, that doesn't. Oh, that might be coming, but there's three there still going, but a little one. I don't know why I even bother keeping these things, and I might just chuck some of them out. They're sort of nice, but I mean, I don't see a point in watering plants. I see more of a point in watering edible weeds, like Charlotte mustard, which is in the brassica family. It's in the cabbage family, basically. And purslane, which is used in salads in France. I'd rather be watering edible weeds than pretty flowers, because it's just the sort of person I am. Alrighty. I've been doing the washing actually, and I was about to hang it up, and I thought, you know what? Better make room for the logs that will be coming. A lot of this crap's got to find another home, and a lot of it actually can. Out in my dunny, I used to have these full of wood. I also have a few in the front veranda, so I may chuck them in the dunny or in the front veranda. That's where I used to keep kindling actually. I had all this pine decking. There's been stacks of it here. And I've got an old Cortina from the 1960s that's absolutely rusted the shit house, which is full of it. And I also had some in here because I couldn't fit it in. It was a good way of storing kindling out of the way until I needed it, and then just bring the whole flipping suitcase in. And yeah, a few old encyclopedias and that, some that have got quite some interesting things about gasification and old style technologies, drawn out with diagrams and everything, and some of these old ones from the early 60s I think they are. My grandmother bought for my dad and my uncle. Plus I'll leave a blooming cardboard boxes and a bit of electronics and more electronics and just bits that I don't even really need. There was a bit of an experimental solar cooker thing, and yeah, I'll clear all this crap out, and I'll then have a bit more room to put the plants and the clothes and some logs. Well, I picked up this one, and you know, it's reasonably heavy when you don't have a proper blooming thing, and you're thinking, hang on, why the hell is it heavy? Mightn't have a handle, but it isn't this heavy without a good reason. About a year and a half ago, while working at Air Radiators, during the time when they changed my mortgage over, and I basically didn't have to pay a mortgage for 6 months, because, well, my lender was bought out by a major bank, quite simply. I had a lot of excess dough, and I decided to go and sort of prep. And I thought I'd run out of dunny paper. I thought I was down to the last roll. Think again. Oh, beauty, I've even got facial tissues. Fantastic. That's good. I get sick of blowing my nose on flipping toilet paper sometimes because you always blow straight through it. Yeah. So there you go. Some big stash of preps I never knew I had. That box there, that's mosquito net that used to go over my bed. There's still rice and stuff in there as well, but there was a lot of toilet paper in there, but that's good. While we're on the subject, let's just see if this one doesn't have something in it as well. Oh no, that's light as, there's nothing in there. Oh boy, knocking things over. Well, there we go. Still got to whack the clothes on the clothes horses here, but I might move those up a little bit. Colossal amount of grass that was growing up through all the stuff, so chuck that outside in a second. All I got is a load of books here. A little lizard. We can't see it. Oh, he's gone. Shut it aside. This may end up actually becoming some sort of a kitty litter thing for the winter, even though I've got the one tray. I want to have one tray probably in my room and maybe another one out in the veranda. I don't know, we'll see. Might be a bit of a waste of a good thing. I've only got 2 kittens, not bloody 50 of them. So anyway, got all the plants all reorganised here. I'll piss this off and stuff it'll probably get the little cordless vacuum and go for gold on all this. Get my sombrero out the way. A few little bits I've got to sort through here and whatnot, and maybe throw a couple of these in different areas, but that's all my tools and shit there. That probably should go in my little tool area as well. Them two go out in the dunny and we'll be right. Someone's seen another cat. Some of this stuff I just chuck it outside for now. Deal with it another day. You watch, there's the other cat kitty. He's stuck in the box, that other cat. I don't think it's ever seen its reflection before. Oh, now it went away. Let's see what Black Kitty reckons. Black Kitty's not worried. I'll most likely just strip out the sheet metal and the copper and circuit boards in the bin, and the rest of the framing goes into the scrap metal. Metal with louvers on it, and that's got louvers on the top there and possibly the back. Kitty's trying to work out just a way they can help the other cat out there. This is hilarious. I think you can break the other cat out, buddy. It's got the whole arched up back before, I don't know if you noticed. Oh, the cat's scaring you, buddy. She's pouring her to be forward, isn't it, the cat one? Oh, here we go. Oh no, hang on, now we caught a rock. Give me the rock. No. So much for giving her a bath, jumping in all the dirt. At least she won't stink like poop. Another go at the other cat. Quick, give it a quick paw and run away again. What an evil other cat. The cat in the mirror. Black Kitty's not even noticing. Hey, you Black Kitty, hey? You haven't even seen the reflection. Flaming crickets. I know it was noisy today, but just walking out there cutting up a tree roots and that, there are plenty of them around. That's enough. Just doing a bit of uploading with the tablet here at the library. Nah. Nice to know you're in White Trashville, because here's a sign. Slightly more than a gallon of wine. It's also known as the mother-in-law's handbag. It's actually a cardboard box that holds a silver bladder with a little rubberized nozzle full of 9.5% alcohol. That's a bit weaker than standard. Standard's about 12.5% naturally. Just on there in White Trashville. Is this for something intriguing? along here, not the road I'm on, but the service road beside us here. I think it was just through these traffic lights actually. Bloke went into a business, robbed a safe. Couldn't open the safe, so he lifted the entire safe out, like just picked the damn thing up, and got it home. Instead of putting it in his garage, he decided it'd be a good idea at about 2:30, 3 in the morning to dig a hole in his front yard and bury it so later on he could, well, dig it up and break into it at a later date. He didn't do this in the backyard, he done it in the front yard. Well, cops were cruising around seeing if there was any, you know, fights, drug deals, other bullshit going on, and what do you know, they caught him in the act. How bloody stupid could you get? And it was along the service road out the side there, one of these houses, I don't know which one, but welcome to White Trashville. Well, people, look what we have here. Might look like much to the untrained eye. It's firefighting equipment. So straps for the, it's like a backpack basically, it's a knapsack sprayer, but instead of being a weed sprayer, it's a hand pump high pressure one for fighting fires. This is the old design from, hell, probably the late 70s, early 80s. $200, I was quoted anything between $200 and $260, and then I'd have to go to the Capitol. I got this for $200, brand new, as you can tell. And there's another fancy pants, heavy duty design that had a dual action pump instead of a single action, and a lot heavier blooming plastic, although that seems suspiciously quite heavier than I expected. That's better than a jerry can, thickness wise. Yeah, it is too. So there we go, that's what I'll need when I burn the box on. And I got it for less than I expected and avoided a trip to the Capitol.